This is the Bitcoin 1 month overview reading for the month of December 2023. It's currently October 16th, 2023, 7:46 p.m. Eastern Time. Bitcoin at the time of this reading is currently $28,530.43. That's USD. And the shuffle file that we're about to play for you was created on October 8th, 2023 at 10:08 p.m. Eastern Time. That's this video right here. So the overall theme and behavior for Bitcoin in the month of December, we have a rally into key resistance on a multi-day scale. From that key resistance, we break down with consecutively lower spikes up on the way down. It's crossed with a period of sideways rotation along key support, again on a multi-day scale, where we rise to meet the nearest resistance and then fall back down and continue rotating sideways along that key support. There's some interesting things taking place. We have cross-reading congruencies that give us a good idea of where on the 1 year spread we are in the sequence of events. And you can see here at the end of November, we have the swiftness card. The swiftness card didn't appear at the end of November, but it appears here at the beginning of December. And then at the end of December, we have here the interference card, which is the beginning of December on the sequence of events of the Bitcoin 1 year. So as far as the sequence of events, we probably have rallying at the beginning of the month of December into that key resistance. The key resistance might even be mid-month, and then we have a decline with consecutively lower spikes up on the way down. Behavior around the highest high, we have price swings, and usually when you see the Dominion card as the highest the high significator, it indicates that you see the high more than once, usually twice. Behavior around the lowest low for the month, period of decline will end with a fast sudden move higher, marking the end of that decline and forming the low. And before we get into where I see as far as timing, where I see the highs and the lows to the day and the best trades and all of the day-by-day chart behavior, I want to make sure everybody's aware of the rule of karma for the channel. It's really the most important aspect of the channel. It's the whole reason why we exist. So what we're asking is that you take 5% of the profits that you make from this information and donate it forward to one of these charities here on the resources tab of our website, Tarot for Traders. And then 5% of the profit should be donated back to the channel here at one of these links. That leaves you at 90%. Make sure to spend that money out of love. As long as you follow those rules, my friends, you're an angel investor of the channel. The universe is going to send it back to you tenfold. If you neglect to follow this, when you have a profitable trade utilizing this information and you neglect to follow through on this, the universe will shut off that flow of abundance really fast, my friends. I've seen it happen, so please don't be that guy. And then make sure to spend that 90% out of love. All right, so as long as you do that, you should be good. And let's get back into it. Blessings to all my angel investors. All right, so on the first, we have a rally that along a diagonal trend line on a one-day chart. We have a rally along a diagonal trend line that ends with a fast sudden move higher and then a breakdown through that diagonal trend line with increasing volatility on the way down. We have an important support level highlighted on the second, indicated by the Ace of Discs. There's usually a lot of price change involved in the Ace of Disc support level. It'll be important on a multi-day scale. Really, it'll be important at least the 1 month chart scale. Often it indicates a bottom, sometimes a top, sometimes neither, but usually it indicates a bottom. And I think probably what we have is we have a trough here on the second and possibly even a bottom on the second, but there's so much price change there from that support level to the upside that we have a prominent trough and a prominent peak there on the second because of the amount of price change. It's also a cross-reading congruency. The high card for the December cluster on the 2023 reading is the Ace of Discs, so it appears there. So my sense is that this is probably, we go into a high. It's not that it's a lowest low, but there's probably a high here. At least our first highest high, but I think we probably see the highest high again. On the third, we have a fast sudden move higher sitting out on a multi-day scale. On the fourth, we have a failed attempt to break through key resistance followed by a decline through key support. But that key resistance, it'll look like we're going to break through resistance that we failed to break through once before recently, and instead we decline through falsely established support. A support that's probably established here on the second. We should break through that support here on the fourth, taking us to our lowest low thus far. On the fifth, we have a notable move higher, followed by a full retracement of that move back down with a prominent peak in the late morning session. On the sixth, we have a failed attempt to break through key resistance on a multi-day scale, followed by a decline through key support. That's the overall one-day chart. And it's also, I left out, there's a significant trade opportunity here on the second. In the midst of that move to the upside, there's actually probably even a day trade in here with the amount of price change here between the second and third. So you could open up a long position before a big move higher off of key support on the second. You could open up a long position and close that long position either at the end of the day on the second or on the third if you don't want to do a day trade. It should be a fast sudden move higher on the third. I would definitely get out before we have this failed attempt to break through key resistance. But what you'd want to do is on that one-day chart, look for look for a notable decline on a one-day chart on the second through multiple supports, taking us to an important support level that's relevant on a multi-day chart. At that support, I would open up the long position, close the long position for a day trade after we have a rally along a diagonal trend line, breaking through horizontal resistance and a second resistance and then pulling back to somewhere between those two price levels towards the end of the day. If I don't want to close it for a day trade, I would wait until the following day, and in the midst of a fast sudden move higher, I would close that trade. Significant drop here on the fourth. All right, well, so we're looking for multiple failed attempts. So I think we have failed attempts to break through key resistance based on this early December cluster. So my sense is that we probably test the high, like I said, 2 or maybe 3 times. I think probably twice here on the second and here on the 8th, and then we have consecutively lower spikes up on the way down. That's looking pretty accurate. So what I would do is after that long position, this is where I could open up on the 6th. I could open up a short position in the midst of, we have this failed attempt to break through key resistance, and it'll be resistance that's important on the Ace of Swords. It'll be important on like a multi-day scale, and I would open up a short position in the midst of that. Matter of fact, no, I would open up a long position in the midst of the decline into the 7th. So at the end of the day on the 6th, after a notable drop on a one-day chart, or on the 7th, if there isn't a notable drop on the 6th on the one-day chart, then I would wait to see if it takes place early in the morning on the 7th. And in the midst of that notable drop, I would open up a long position in anticipation of retesting the high here on the 8th. Same price level as the second, most likely. because on the 7th we have a big move from the out of a decline from the bottom of the range all the way to the top of the range, and a lot of price change covered on the 8th. The best trade that I see for the month is, I'll get into that in the paid version, guys. So that's the public portion of this reading, guys. If you want to get the paid version, where we talk about the remainder of the month as well as the best trades that we see, what trades to avoid, and then any trades that are relevant on like a 1-year chart scale or a multi-year chart scale, we're going to talk about 2024. And then if there's any price levels that we get information about, we talk about that in the paid version. The way that you get the paid version, guys, really awesome way to support the channel. We definitely know the names of everybody that goes ahead and does this. You go to our website, terrafortraders.com, our services, SO Meta Posts, scroll down the monthly subscription, click here, click on the Bitcoin, subscribe, and purchase. And that really helps to support the channel. It gives the channel peace of mind and budgeting ability, because we see what we're getting ahead of, we see ahead of the month, what we're projected to bring in. It really helps out. The people with the monthly subscriptions are really the core foundation of support here at the channel. So much appreciation to you guys for that. And as a reward, you get all that extra information. And as always, my friends, make sure to follow that rule of karma. We give away the first week of the month and whatever trades we see in there to help out those people that maybe can't afford the low price that we have for the monthlies. Because it is low, guys. We're predicting highs and lows to the day like a month in advance. All right, guys, I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.